are you sure you're recording this time?
Yeah, I just hit it.
Sure.
Sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Please don't tell me we're 26 minutes into this session and we missed all that good stuff.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right, I'm out of this motherfucker. What's up, everybody? This Twitch Podcast back at you again with a brand new motherfucking episode. We'll tell you and fill you in on why I said, or what we did a little semi-skit, I guess you want to call, right? But I'm here with my boy Brett, as always, fucking awesome co-host. What's up, brother? We're back here again.
Yeah, we are live. We are off of a hot interview. It was crazy. I mean, it was like as 2020 as you could get. It was super dope.
Yeah.
But as we alluded to in the beginning of this podcast, we were sitting there, we're having some drinks, and things are getting hot. The conversation's just on fire, and I look down at my recorder and it's not recording. and I'm freaking out. I'm like, I kind of looked at you, and then I'm like, no, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
Going with it, right?
Yep. And so I hit record, and you probably see that in the video. You probably see exactly where I hit record.
Definitely.
And I didn't know how to tell you, but I had to wait until after the interview, after everything was good. But at least we got the freestyle. That was that right there was probably our peak Tip Touch moment right there. Guada and Young Bree with that beat and the freestyle at the barber shop, like that was lit.
Yeah, it was pretty much all elements kind of aligned. It's like when they say all the stars align or all the planets align, whatever one it is, right?
I think it's stars and planets.
Okay, both of them. It was an awesome interview. Now, for anybody that wants to go check that out, it is on our YouTube page, and the freestyle clip is actually on our Instagram page at the Twitch Podcast. If you're curious, you're sipping on that Yahoo there, pretty strong there. But
don't tell my daughter.
But go check that out. I just want to reiterate kind of what Brett was saying. It was an awesome interview. Shout out to Bree and Guada. Young Bree and Guada. They're awesome people, but amongst that, they're really talented artists. So good music. Their music video to 90s Baby is going to come out on December 11th. Peep out for that. It's just the conversation was awesome. It really went amongst just the issues that we ran into, because it was only the audio issues we had. Now, there is a disclaimer on the YouTube page stating that there was a flaw, just we didn't capture 26 minutes of the audio. And then after the 26 minutes, it's when, we finally realized, somebody forgot to push the fucking start button. But, it's neither here or there. We managed to capture the fucking, capture the audio from there on, and it turned out great. And we managed to fucking, save the fucking episode. But on my end, I actually had an issue that I couldn't sleep that night. And I'll tell you why. For some reason, I forgot to properly shut off the camera. A what happens when you do that? Well, you corrupt the file. So when I got home and tried to watch just the magic that we captured, a couple hours before that, the file wouldn't open. And me, I'm over here stressing, of course, I'm like, fuck, I totally, dropped the ball on this. There has to be a way for me to fix it. So now I honestly couldn't sleep that night. And I was literally hitting the Google search engine like crazy, like a madman. I ended up falling asleep around around 1 o'clock, 12ish, right? I woke up, went straight to work, and tried to figure out a way. Luckily, there was a way, and I managed to find that. And now it is what you see on our YouTube page. I managed to bring the fucking, the file back to life, and began editing right then and there, and voila, there we go. So. More of the story
saved us.
The moral of the story from this, the reason why we wanted to just kind of start off with that is that, it's kind of like one of those, this is one of those things to remind anybody that's, doing anything in the line of work and whatever that it is that they're going through, or any of their, adventures or just life goals or whatever they're going through. Right. Shit like this happens. Take it as a lesson learned, and you're going to you hit bumps like that along the road as you go by. So don't get, unmotivated, or don't let that shit, knock you off your feet and just, throw you off your tracks. Get back up, push forward, and just you live and learn. It's just a learning experience, and all, when it boils down to it. So that was just one of the things we want to share with everybody. Listen to the podcast, and yeah, we might actually just save the day at the at the end of it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it was definitely a learning curve for the both of us. It was crazy, but yeah, definitely it was
It was
crazy.
so 2020.
Oh man, dude. I mean, it's like things are already worse as it is. Now we got to deal with that shit. I'm like, fuck, dude. Just put me out of my misery, Brett. I even told you I'm gonna jump off I-5 bridge. Don't be surprised if you see me just fucking thrown off there, dude. Because I just felt like I dropped the ball. Damn, you already killed that?
Done.
You know what? You want to know something crazy?
Hmm.
I never had a Yahoo.
That was the first one I've ever had.
Really? Okay, tell me. I want to know. I'm curious.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Is it chocolate milk?
I think it's non-dairy. Let me.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was like a knockoff Nesquik type deal, you know?
Oh yeah. Let's see. It says it's a chocolate drink.
Mm.
The ingredients are water, high fructose corn syrup. We're already on a roll.
Oh man, corn
Um,
syrup.
how do you pronounce that? Whey for
Whey?
milk.
Yeah.
Yep. Contains less than 2% of cocoa,
Okay.
alkali process, non-fat
Okay.
dry milk. Oh, it is. There is milk. Okay. Natural and artificial flavors, sodium caseinate from milk, corn syrup solids. Oh, that must explain why it's thick. Calcium
Thick
phosphate.
as in THICC, 3 C's.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this is what wifey's drinking.
Shout out to wifey though, man. Shout out to her.
She knows I've got her back. She
Mhm.
knows I've got her back. She knows when it's time to talk shit. I'm the one she sends in.
What happened? Okay, now you gotta share with me as much as you're gonna share with everybody else. What happened? That to me is kind of like a, oh man, I really would want to.
Well, I'm throwing the tip touch out there, so if we get a lot of hate mail, it's because of me. I'll just tell you. So we've got this little guy,
the Grinch.
the
Okay,
Grinch,
okay.
right? And I told
Christmas,
you,
or almost Christmas.
I told you offline that I was getting a Grinch costume for Christmas, and both of my daughters' favorite, one of their favorite Christmas movies.
Okay.
They're the Grinch is on constant rotation in the auto home,
as it should.
So I said, I'm looking through the interwebs, and I said, man, I think I'm going to get a Grinch costume. But I also have a little bit of a family tradition, and that is to scare the bejesus out of my children when I'm in one of these costumes. So my 12-year-old, we went camping, and she was 3 years old.
Okay.
And so we set up the scene where her grandma was in the tent reading Curious George to make it appropriate. And then and the whole day we primed her. We said, hey, you got to be careful out here. We were over in Ocean Shores camping along the beach. I said, you got to be careful out here. There's some gorillas running around, so just, when it comes to nighttime, let's just stay hunkered down in our tent. We'll keep it careful. So anyway, so Grandma and Cassidy are in the tent. They're reading Curious George.
Yeah.
And I'm on the outside putting on my gorilla suit. Now I have recorded this. I need to post that video. Now that I've scared both of my children, I need to post
the aftermath.
But so anyway, so we scared her, and it was fear. It was it was what every dad wants to see out of their children, that real fear. Have you ever, did your parents or did anyone ever scare you like that? Like dress up in a costume or scare you in any type of way?
Dude, okay, so I got 2 of them, okay? And I'll make this short and sweet. Jurassic Park, you know the film, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I was very young. I know that. I mean, it'd be embarrassing to say if I was like 13 years old, right? No. So down in Wenatchee, over here in the eastern side, kind of by Lake Chelan-ish over there, Eastern Washington side. I remember at the mall, they had a really small mall there, right? There was these animatronic dinosaurs. And my parents weren't trying to scare me on purpose, but they were. I was just kind of like walking along with them, whatever. Dude, I saw the fucking trying to T-Rex moving around, making all the sound effects. Brett, I ran for my motherfucking life. Like I busted out the fucking doors, screaming. Like, no, like it's not even funny, dude. Like my parents were like, what the fuck? Like I thought they would be like, they were probably thinking in their heads like, I thought he was probably gonna have like get joy out
I
of this.
thought he
Like,
was
oh,
gonna
shit.
like it.
Yeah, no, dude, I was fucking scared as fuck. And then the second story, when we go to like Walmart and all those stores, right? I had the tendency to kind of just run off, do my own thing. And when it came to the clothes section, you know, the parts where it has like the shirts and the jeans and all that, kind of like, you know,
The
they move
racks.
around the racks, right? I used to
Yep.
always had in the middle and kind of like my own version of hide and go seek. So my
Mhm.
parents were spending
Every kid does that.
right. So one day, I noticed that they weren't looking for me, and I'm like, okay. So I went around all the Walmart, I couldn't find them, dude. I started getting scared. And they did this shit on purpose so that they can teach me a lesson. Do not fucking, first of all, play around
Run
like
from
that,
us.
and don't make us waste a lot of fucking time trying to find you, dude. So I went out, and I think they purposely did this. They saw me coming out, and they started kind of driving off, thinking they were gonna leave me, dude. I was crying, chasing the car. Here you see a little Hispanic boy fucking running around, dude. And after that, never again. My mom said, never again after that.
Oh,
So,
so they had they actually, so the first one was just kind of a fluke, sort of
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
It was by surprise, but the second one, they used fear as a learning
Yes, they
tactic.
did. Straight up.
Okay.
That's true story. True fucking stories.
With me, with what I do in my family is I use these costumes as a bonding mechanism, right? As a way
Okay.
to bond. And what I try to do is I try to capture these moments, right? Because everybody knows how funny it is, how like when you're a kid and how scared you get, and then when you get older you're like, oh my gosh, I really got scared. And I guess as a kid who got scared, those are the experiences I walk through in life and carry with me.
Yeah.
Well, apparently on social media, people were running into super moms and that apparently never got scared. They're too tender. They're raising children that are going to be weak for the rest of their lives. And and I had to take some swings on social media. So
Yeah.
my wife, you know, I told her today, I said, just right before we're filming the podcast, I said, hey, tell me when you're getting in the driveway. The Grinch costume is here. I'm dressed in it. I'm playing Fortnite in it, you know, and
That's so awesome.
just
I need a
let me
picture
know
of
when
that.
you're here, and then I'll jump in the costume real quick, you know.
Yeah.
And so, and I did it in a way. I had like the Grinch was stealing the costumes, or stealing the Christmas presents.
Yeah.
So I went, you know, and I carried a Christmas present, which I carried the heaviest one. I didn't know it was going to be heavy, but I'm carrying this Christmas present like I'm trying to steal it, you know, like the Grinch stealing it. Well, Izzy is just not having it. She is crying. And you know, and so once I'm seeing that she's scared and that she's really scared, that's when I took off the mask and I came.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, mission accomplished, right? As soon as she's
Yeah. Yeah.
But Daya posted her video, and I swear, like, she has a lot of really good fans. There's a lot of good people that follow her page,
Yeah.
but she said that there are trolls that follow her.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever she posts a video, they are always there trolling, right? Just like, you know, just always there to let it be known that they don't like my wife, they don't like what she's doing. So the trolls came out on this video, and so I started throwing barbs. I've told people to call the cops if they're so scared, if they're so, you know, afraid of me, you know, so mad at me, scaring Izzy. Izzy is okay. These are the memories we make in our family. I'm not raising weak children. Your children can be weak. Your children can get beat up at school and run to the teacher when they get bullied. My kids are going to be able to defend themselves just as
Yeah.
I defended myself. I was never weak. My children aren't weak. I'm sorry that yours are. I'm sorry that you can't have that experience. You moms, you trashy, I mean, super moms out there trolling on my wife's page, you know. So anyone that wants to troll, feel free. I am always ready for these trolls. So you want to do it? Let's do it. I can do it all day. I can do it in my sleep.
In other words, he's on his Pac shit. And what people don't know about Pac, look up the clip where he's coming out of I forgot what case was it. Was it a case or he was just getting bombarded with paparazzi?
Oh, I don't know what that was. Where he's in the Red Wings jersey.
Red Wings jersey. So picture this, people, super moms out there, whoever you may be. Look up the clip, Tupac, Red Wings jersey, white bandana. And that's what I mean when he said he's on his Pac shit.
Here's what I think about these moms that try to virtue signal and talk about how traumatizing it is that I scare my children. These are probably the same moms that are watching the Duggars and loving everything that the Duggars do, but then never minding the fact that the Duggar was actually the one that was on Ashley Madison banging some porn star, but then they overlook that like it didn't even happen, you know? So, hey, you know, one Duggar's on her knees praying, the other Duggar's on his knees spraying. So,
or getting sprayed on.
It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. You wanna love on the Duggars and hate on me? Do it all day. I've got enough ammo and fire and ammunition for every single one of your asses. So
that's my new style.
So that's it. You know, you want to talk shit on my wife's page? I'm on standby. I'm always what did Trump say? Stand by, stand down, stand by.
Yeah.
I'm standing down and I'm standing by, just waiting for all you trolls.
Jesus Christ. Oh God.
I made sure I didn't even have a beer in front of me. I wanted everyone to know I was completely sober for that one.
Oh, dude.
I just hate these moms that pretend like they are so good. My mom did that. My mom played that game. She told everybody how good of a mom she was. And then meanwhile, I was in foster care the whole time, you know, doing drugs and hanging out with friends and getting in fights and breaking into cars and breaking into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All you moms that think you're all that. You're not. Your kids suck.
Jesus.
That's it. Don't come at me. Don't come at my wife.
We went from here.
Filipinos know how to raise their kids.
Yeah.
Filipinos know how to raise their kids. Look at any Filipino child that they get set straight.
I can say though, in all honesty, you know, your wife is really good with your daughter. Like I see a lot of little posts of her making her like little breakfasts, like my wife does for our daughter too. You know, makes her breakfast, cuts her fruit up and all that. So it's
what about the iPad? Does she use an iPad?
Oh, dude, fucking, she's flossing on the iPad. She's just
what I'm saying. That's another thing she gets knocked on. People, well, these super mom trolls that love to virtue signal. Oh, you shouldn't be on that iPad. Oh, she shouldn't be on that iPad. It's bad for her. Shut up.
So what's the reason behind that about it being bad for a child?
I don't know. They're probably the same ones that think you should wear a mask when you drive alone. You're too scared. Shut up. You're too scared.
Yeah, I think that's you know, at the end of the day, man,
fire every time.
At the end of the day, I look at it this way, dude. Everybody's going to be, you know, they're entitled to their own opinions. Cool. But as long as it doesn't affect you and how you sleep at night and all that.
But also when you want to bring that opinion into our realm, into our ring, you want to step into the ring. I mean, we're swinging too. I'm not on standby anymore. I'm swinging. I'm done. These are just trashy people that want to virtue signal and come into our life and pretend like they're all that. Listen, they're not saving for their kids going to college. I've got college funds for both of my children. Both of my children are going to college. Your children are going to end up on crack or hanging out with people like Hunter Biden. Bring it.
Oh yeah,
all day.
There was a rumor, right? Or it was proven that he was on crack, right?
Dude, have you seen the picture?
No.
Hold on, brother. Hold on.
Not that I mean, like to keep Hunter Biden I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, shit.
So, this is Hunter. Let's see. Oh, there's the camera. There's Hunter Biden with his at the dentist. That was after he did a whole bunch of crack.
Dude, he's probably getting a grill, man.
And it destroyed. Yeah, no, it destroyed his teeth. So he's showing off all of his nasty crack eating teeth.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. And you know, his dad's the president. So hey, super moms, there's your model right there. There's your model. All right, next topic. What do we got next?
You know, just I need you to fucking pop open a cold one, take a swig, because we are going to go to some pretty interesting topics. So,
okay,
for one, these monoliths. What in the fuck is going on? I want to know. The people want to know. But what does Brett know? I mean, what do you think of it, first of all? And I'll give you kind of my opinion and kind of my thought on like what I think it is.
Okay. So I guess the story starts in some wilderness area, private property section in Utah,
Okay.
where this first monolith was found.
Okay.
Then they find one in Romania. Then they find one in California, right? And they're all identical. And I don't know if the one in Utah is the same one that was in, or the one in California is the same one in Utah, but the one in Romania, I don't even know. So apparently there was this monolith in the movie Space Odyssey 2001 or whatever. I haven't watched the
Okay.
movie, but apparently people are thinking, okay, this is an artist paying homage to that movie, whatever. But there's literally no explanation. There's no, people don't know. People don't know what's going on with this. So as much as I know, all I know is that the um the monolith that was in Utah was there for a few days, and the Fish and Wildlife, or whatever the team is in Utah that deals with wildlife, they came in and they said, we can't do anything about it because it's on private property and we can't do it. Well, then a few days later, it's completely gone, and in its place is like this little pyramid. It's like little, bunch of rocks left behind. So as I don't know, are we, is someone playing games? Is it aliens? I don't think it's aliens, but I do think that, just like that old Bigfoot footage from the late 60s or early 70s.
Yeah.
I think that we're more advanced now, and people are playing that game. I think it's a prank. I want to say it's a prank, but
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
I think it's, for me nowadays, obviously this caught our attention, right? Everybody's attention, a certain few, I guess you could say, but quite a few. I feel like it's some kind of promo for something. That's kind
Oh,
of my guess, because it's like, do something that's really kind of, scratch your head, make people scratch their heads, like, what the fuck is this?
like a new
But
Kanye album.
what if it's Kanye? No, straight up. No, 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 no. Keep that in mind. That's a good example.
Really? Okay.
What if that was Kanye's album? Like, maybe somewhere they find in there, what's the new album name that he was gonna name it? I forgot. But what if it somehow on one of the pieces of the monolith they found like a date of a release date for the album? Boom,
Interesting.
right there, done. That's fucking huge promo for that shit, dude. So I mean, the power of social media, bro. They found it, and I just think it's something promo related. I don't know what, but something promo related. But it is weird, because my second gut instinct would be aliens. Maybe.
You think? Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I noticed on your stories, on the Instagram stories, you were talking about Phenomenon.
Well, I
you
watched it a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still on that tip, and then yeah. So
Who knows? I
is
mean,
there
I'm just throwing
anything
guesses
that?
out there.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I mean, shit, I'm always wrong. So it's like, it is what it is. So,
No, it's certainly crazy, because the thing is, like, I don't know how far it's lodged into the ground, and I
That's
don't know
yeah.
how it's standing straight up. I think it's like 12 feet high. So,
No
and it
shit.
looks heavy. It looks heavy. I mean, it's all metal. So, dude, you would need equipment to do that. But
Especially going into the fucking, like, into rock solid ground like that. Yeah, definitely. Like, you would
yeah.
have to have equipment, like some pretty decent amount of equipment to go in there, do that. It's not gonna take a couple fucking minutes. I would think it's gonna take a while for you to put that fucking thing in there, pack all that shit up, and then dip out. There would
Yeah.
be traces of like evidence that someone was there. Like, you could easily just say like someone was here doing this, and there's evidence to prove it on the ground, on these rocks, like footprints, all that shit. They would have to be there. But the fact that nothing's coming out like that, it's kind of like raises another eyebrow. Like, okay, so there's no traces of people doing this.
Yeah. Well,
So
I saw an article saying something about on Google's Maps. Google Maps, they said that it was between August 10th and September whatever that it appeared. And so they have a thing where their satellites comb over.
yeah,
And so they said, yep, it was definitely here within that. It was within this range
okay.
when their satellites. Now, my question is, well, but don't we have military satellites? Because
Mhm.
what I mean, you know, what if terrorists are or playing games like this. And don't we have military satellites that are capturing that might have a little bit, I don't know, an exact time, an exact, identity of who and or what is happening here? I mean, we have satellites, we have eyes in the sky
Oh,
everywhere.
dude, hell yeah. I mean, we have the technology, like you said, to
Somebody knows.
somebody knows, man. I mean, somebody would have to know, but it's crazy.
I
So
like your take though on the promo.
yeah, so that was my first kind of initial reaction, aside from the other one. But so it's Utah,
Mhm.
Utah,
Yep, Utah.
California,
Yep.
Romania.
Yep. Yeah. What? Romania.
Like that's weird. Like out of a sudden now in Romania, like all the way over there, like, okay, are we all in a fucking like, is there some type of circle where, they're gonna be like, hey, yo, somebody catch a flight to Romania and fucking do the same shit so we can, get more curious,
Yeah. What are the coordinates? I want to know what the coordinates
right?
are. Maybe maybe
what if,
that's telling us a story.
what if it makes like a triangle,
Right. If the Earth is flat.
If they're, yeah, there you go. Which it
Right.
is.
Yeah. It's definitely flat. Like I've heard people have fallen off before. Like, and then all of a sudden Galileo was like, we should stop falling off. We should. I think him and a team went out on some sort of a like a an excursion or something where they like tried to make the Earth a sphere. So like, yeah, Galileo and his team like they went out and made the Earth a sphere.
Oh, it's kind of like an oval shape, kind of like an olive shape, kind of like that, right?
Yeah, they weren't perfect with it.
Yeah.
They kind of messed up, but
It's
it's not flat anymore. So
Yeah,
they put
no,
some
it's a
air
little-
in the old ball.
I mean, they're only sending satellite images or what is it? Images from NASA, looking at Earth, right? It's got to be flat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's all the other planets like the moon, all that they're all round. We're just the only ones that are flat.
Oh god. Hey, maybe that's why we stand out. Maybe that's why there's life here. I don't know, man.
Maybe
I
that's
guess.
what. Yeah. Right. Because they keep sliding off on all the other planets. That's why they're bare and desolate.
God.
I'm so smart. NASA, if you're hiring,
No, dude, we should definitely go for the Space Force. That's what I would want to join.
I don't know, dude. I think that's where one of our wars is going to end up.
In space.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy though? Let's go over there for a little bit just to dibble dabble on that. To think that we all all the battles, all the wars, everything, right? That's happened in our history happened on the ground. Like, how the fuck would that be if all of a sudden we hear about? I'm just throwing names out there. Everybody don't take this fucking serious. I'm just, idea, right? Russia throws a nuke up in space, or they launch fucking spaceships up in space, like Star Wars fucking style. You know what I'm saying? Like, then we got to throw our shit up there, and then now it's gonna be like the battle of fucking Galaxy 0567, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't that be fucking mind blowing? Like, fuck, we're taking this bitch up to outer space now.
Yeah, I think that if anything, it would be China that we'd have to worry about. But dude, did you hear about these Iranian nuclear physicists that are getting assassinated? Dude, they're
No.
thinking that Israel is sending out some people, like some of their stone cold assassins.
Yeah.
So there was one assassin where he so this nuclear physicist was like driving down the road or whatever, and then there was a motorcyclist that came up and shot, pop, 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 pop. That's the style that we're used to, with the Israeli assailants, or Israeli assailant. And then so the guy died. Iran is pissed. And anyway, but then there's this other one. Like, we're talking about Space Force, right? They don't know where this guy got shot from, right? He got shot in the head or whatever. He got killed, assassinated, but there was like literally no vantage point for the assassin to be at. They think that a drone was armed with a sniper rifle with the accuracy to be able to kill that guy.
It would have surprised me. I mean, that's kind of where we're going, where they're using these new warfare tactics, like with these fucking electronic fucking robotic dogs that they want to implant weapons on. I mean, if we're doing it, don't you think the other people or other countries would want to adapt to the same system? I mean, dude, they're making crazy shit where they don't want to put human casualties at the front line anymore. I mean, if we got the resources and the technology and the great minds here to put something together where you're making some type of fucking Terminator, type cyborg out there where that can just is trained to kill or just made to kill. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
I don't doubt it if it was a drone, just da, 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 da,
Yeah. I
That'd
mean,
be
that's
crazy,
like,
crazy shit.
imagine that. Imagine being an Iranian physicist right now. Like, hey, you're the best physicist. No, you are.
And all just juggling back and
Remember
forth.
that one project that you did, Ahmad? You did really good.
You got an A, I got a B.
Yeah, I was just in your group. I was the guy that showed up last and took the credit, but you were actually the one that did the
That
work.
did all the work. Fuck, that's crazy though, man. That's crazy. So they can't figure out how this bullet like managed to hit him square in the dome.
That's what they're thinking, is that the assumption is that it could, one of the possibilities is that there was a weaponized drone
That's fucking crazy.
took that
Like I said,
guy
it wouldn't
out.
surprise me, man. It wouldn't surprise me just with how we're going with technology, man. It's just rapidly advancing so quick, bro. It's not even funny. It's scary to think that there's a lot of things out there being made where it's like if this falls into the wrong hands, man, it's gonna be a tragedy, bro. And it's always gonna be like that because there's always that fight between good and evil, So, I mean,
Yeah, it's like there's this war with technology. It's almost like the thing that scares us about technology. It's so weird because we didn't used to be. I mean, there was always people that were afraid of technology, right? Your tinfoil hats. But then for the most part, like look at when cell phones came out. We used to love the the convenience of it is amazing. You can check your emails, you can take pictures, you can order online flights, you can order food, you can update your social media, you can fight with trolls, you can order Grinch costumes. Yeah, I mean everything with your phone. You can do banking, you can do Bitcoin. I mean, tell me what
pay
you
with
can't
your
do with a
phone.
phone.
Pay with your phone.
Remember those old commercials? But can it shave your face? Why, yes, it can. And remember those old infomercials?
I don't remember that now.
Like more of a funny thing. But anyway, but now we are living in that time where like we have superheroes and then we have super villains. And these super villains are taking our data and they're telling us, like Mark Zuckerberg has said with Facebook, what he's done is he said, yeah, we were just tinkering with the algorithm because we wanted to see how people would act. So if they would throw negative news at some people and then they would throw positive news at other people, and they found that people engaged more with negative news. So then all of a sudden you started seeing the media starting getting more and more divisive as well, because the more angry, the more emotional we are, the more commercials they sell. That's what they found. So that is literally people tinkering with algorithms to get a rise and an effect out of us using technology. So we literally have living evildoers. You have China that using technology to keep a social credit score on people, where if you don't follow the communist lines, the Communist Party lines, you don't toe the line like they want you to, you lose credit. There are doctors right now that are speaking out that haven't even been able to leave their house for 30 days just because they're speaking out against the communist government's handling of the coronavirus.
You know what's crazy though? At the beginning, you said that Mark Zuckerberg controlling the algorithm on to kind of pretty much make people feel a certain way, kind of get a specific reaction to where it's going to benefit them. Think about that, people, for 1 second. One person, Mark Zuckerberg, creating the narrative, controlling you, me, you, whoever, right? To feel a certain way. If that's not some kind of fucking power, you tell me what is, man.
Right.
Straight up. Because I mean,
billions of people on Facebook.
It's wild to even think that, man. That like the crazy thing to me is like to have that much power and to do, I would think, a negative to to push and make certain people like feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, I can rebuttal and like look at it from a different perspective. Like for me, I really could give a fuck, depending if it's something that affects me personally. Like I'm not really much of a social media taker. Like I'll admit, you know, I do keep up with you know, our personal account for the Tipsy podcast and my personal account here and there. But it's more of me kind of just like, I'm all about memes. If it makes me laugh, I'll get a kick out of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna fucking be on my fucking phone 24/7, 365. You know what I'm saying? So it's for the people, I guess you could say, that have more time to be on their phones and to really be stuck on that thing to where they're gonna abide by that by any means necessary. See what I'm saying? So
Well,
for me, it's like, I mean, everybody's different. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but having that power overall, back to Mark Zuckerberg, the Mark Zuckerberg picture, that's crazy,
yeah.
fucking wild.
Well, and you know what happens when that power ends up in the government's hands, and
Not
all of a
good.
sudden, you know, someone in the government decides, hey, we're going to use, and for instance, this voting thing going on right now with Dominion, and I'm telling you, you know, I don't know what you're hearing about this election, but you know, people are saying that Biden is in, he might get in, I don't know, but I'm also I'm also seeing a lot of articles talking about the fact that there are lawsuits going on in a number of different areas where, like, there was this video in Georgia where it was showing these poll workers, and at 8:30 in the morning, you see them there, and then at 10:30 at night, they kick everyone out, right? They kick everyone out, but these four people remain in the building, and there's surveillance cameras watching all this. And so then all of a sudden at 11, after everybody's kicked out, and you're talking when, you know, media is kicked out, the Republican overseers, like the people that are counting the ballots and making sure that there's a Democrat and a Republican there counting the ballots to make sure that it's there. Everyone was kicked out, but these four people. Then at 11, the security camera shows four suitcases come out from underneath the table. And from 11 until 1 a.m., all of a sudden they're doing mass counting. There's more counting. And so then all of a sudden the news had contacted the Republican watchers and said, hey, they've been counting ballots for the last 3 hours, you know, and there's the Republicans are freaking out. They're saying, no, we were all kicked out at 10:30. Then they said that there was a water leak, right? Well, it turned out all it was a toilet leak, and all you'd have to do is turn the little dial to shut it. But they're treating it like it was like a water main that exploded.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one state. You're talking about all these people that have signed affidavits, that have sworn and swear to tell the truth under in front of a jury, in front of the court, that what we saw this year was unlike anything we've ever seen, where people were blocked from seeing things, where trucks were driving. And now this will probably get flagged. This video on YouTube will get flagged, because what I'm saying is stuff that is not allowed on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube. Because what they're and this is again mass technology, and the evil doers, the evil villains, super villains with the mass control, they are also controlling the narrative. So if there is a conservative or a narrative that supports the other guy, the not the mainstream guy, then they're trying to squash it. So you know, people are gonna come at me as this super fringy guy, but I'm just paying attention to the news, and there's a lot of news that is being shielded away from us right now, and it's scary. But I'm to the point now where I'm seeing so much that you know, even like you watch CNN, you watch Fox. It used to be those two, you know, it was just different perspective, but now there's whole stories that are completely being left out.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, as far as this election, I don't think it's over. It's not over. General Flynn, who was sent to prison for lying to Congress, for having Russian ties, Trump pardoned him. Well, now he's out of prison, and he's saying that he's telling Trump you need to use your powers. You need to use martial law, and you need to make sure there's a fair election, because all these swing states and all these irregularities were only happening in these swing states and only in these mass Democratic populated areas. So they're saying that a lot of people use this COVID as a means to jump in and sort of infiltrate the election. And also the same people, like the Democrats and the CNN and whatever, they're all saying this year, oh, the election is fair, the election, this is the way it is. But then they had stories in 2018 that showed there was a professor that showed how these machines could be hacked. There were updates up on these machines that were happening in the middle of the night. And yeah, anyway, so I'll stop there. There's just a lot of crazy stuff going on with these machines that nobody is answering to. The other thing is, these are the same machines that we have used, and when I say we, I mean the CIA has used in countries where we want our guys to get elected. They're using the same machines, and all of a sudden our guys are getting elected.
So for me, and from my understanding from all this, like about just the election and the results and all that, there was a couple of lawsuits that got thrown out, and they're like, there's no sufficient evidence. There's no solid piece of evidence that's letting us know that you got cheated on by a large fucking margin. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm agree with you. There was some cases where there was some, some voter fraud, to where, not to an extent where it was like, let's just put a number out there, like 500,000 votes, like at a large scale. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I have read some stories like that. On the other tip, I have no clue. Cause like I said, I'm not going to stand by. I'm not going to, voice my opinion on something that I completely have no clue on, but I just see like stuff, articles here and there. Like, obviously I go to CNN, I go to MSN and just read just whatever's on the front page, just to see what's kind of going on and kind of like the updates and all that. But dude, right now I just think like, I kind of look at the big picture where, okay, you got the election, right? Which is a huge deal, of course. I'm not saying by any means, it's not like an important thing to pay attention to, but at the same time, we got this COVID situation, bro. I mean, sitting president, you have to kind of sit there and think, what is my priority right now? You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, we're at the peak now where we were saying a couple months ago that it's only going to get worse during flu season. Mm-hmm. We're already here. And we're seeing these numbers they're climbing, dude. And
well, the cases are climbing, but how many deaths are climbing? Are the deaths climbing?
I haven't checked, but I can check. But last time I think it was a Friday or Thursday, we were like almost like a 240,000, like 250 or something like that.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, dude, I mean, what do you think? Like at the same time, if it is getting worse, and now we're going into quarantine. Now in San Francisco, they're on lockdown, like officially lockdown too, right?
Like for 3 weeks or something.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm sure, I kind of have a feeling Washington State is walking towards that. Like I think soon.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I try to be as safe on all sides as I can.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean I don't want us to be in a situation where we are crippling our economy and crippling our small businesses if we don't have to.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the state and the government closes these small businesses, but then they still allow Walmart, all Target, your big, large corporations to remain open. So how is that fair? So I think that we do have to look at the Constitution a little bit and really follow that. So if you're going to say, it's either you open a mall or you close a mall, but you don't allow a Walmart, a large corporation, to stay open and then tell me that my local fruit stand has to shut down.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do that. And especially like this is where, I think that people have to start being a little bit more responsible for themselves. Quit relying on the government to hand everything out to you. We are not living in a nanny state. We don't need to live in a nanny state. And those are the people that think that the government should make their every decision, are the reasons why we struggle as a nation, because they are a burden on our society. If I'm elderly, right? And I get it. There's some elderly that don't have any contacts, and the government should be there for them. But if I'm elderly and I've got family in the house, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to hunker down for a little bit. Or, hey, when you're around me, can you wear a mask or
Mhm.
something? Right. But I'm going to want my grandchildren to be in school every single day. I don't want them. School is too important. And I think what we saw during the first round of this, that's what shaped my opinion for this second round, is that you saw a lot of abuse going on in homes. And as someone who went through abuse in my own childhood, this is stuff that sticks with you for life. So this is permanent damage that you are forcing children to be exposed to over something that doesn't have to be that way. A child should be in school, should be doing extracurricular activities.
Mm.
It's the people that are most at risk that shouldn't be around. Why aren't we putting them in a safer space? Why don't we have a, like, whenever there's an earthquake or a natural disaster, we always tell people, hey, if you have lost your home, come to the community center. We're going to take care of you. Why aren't we setting that up for elderly who are not
Mm.
sick, who just need a safe space to be? I don't know. I think that it's wrong. I'm not against the mask. I think that the masks are helping. And you know, I've made a joke before about us having 0 cases of the flu. I was at the doctor yesterday. I was at the clinic, and I was talking to her too. She asked if I wanted my flu shot, and I laughed and I said, "We still have 0 cases, right?" And she laughed, and I laughed, and we understood that I wasn't getting a flu shot.
That was pretty
And
much my nice way of saying no, I'm not.
well, she laughed because she knew, you know,
Yeah,
she knew. And and it was good because I talked to some health professionals yesterday about some of this stuff.
yeah,
And I think that the general consensus I'm getting, even from some of the people, is that it's overboard in some of the things they're doing, mainly the kids, taking all those opportunities away, closing off our society, and choosing what businesses can stay open and what businesses must close. It's There's nothing fair about this, and that is the type of stuff that makes me feel like this stuff is deliberate. Like there might be a bigger hand in the government, where the government does want more control, wants to seize more. They want this to become a nanny state, you know. Government jobs pay more, and that's where, and they do it out of being able to tax us. And so if they can build more and more people reliant on the government, whether it's by paycheck or by welfare or by subsidy, whatever, then they win. And they also get to make the decisions for us. We are beholden to their decisions. And I'm sorry, but I grew up in a state where you had to do a lot of this stuff on your own. You wanted to stay warm in the winter, you cut your own firewood. You wanted to eat, you shot your own deer. And I'm tired of this city life, where this mentality where people want the government to do everything for us, make our own decisions. I, it's too much.
it's kind of like having like just like people having a way to rely on something for whatever it is to take care of them or whatever, you know. So I see what you're saying, definitely. That's kind of my mind, like that's my mentality in a sense, to where regardless, like let's say I lose my job tomorrow, whatever, right? I'm gonna get it by any means. Fuck all that. I ain't gonna fucking just sit there and wait for that fucking stimulus. I'll tell you that much, man. Just because that's
Okay.
just my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yes.
work hard to get, you know, paid or whatever the case may be. I'm not gonna just sit there and think to myself, you know, it's all good. The government's got my back. I'm just gonna get that check and just sit at home. No, fuck no, dude.
And you
I'm gonna
see
come up with
people that
something.
are like that. And that's the
Fuck
sad
that,
part.
man.
You know, how
Fuck.
many people, when this pandemic first started, we got our first stimulus check. This was even before the first stimulus check rang out. I think we were getting our unemployment, and the government was giving an additional 600, right?
Mhm.
How many people were opting not to work, not because they were truly afraid
Mhm.
of getting sick, but they kept saying, and I said it myself, you and I were both on 2 weeks of those paychecks, where we made jokes like, hey, these are actually bigger paychecks than we get by going to work. I could sit and chill like this all day, you know, and
Yeah.
I talked to a number of people like that. Now, I was joking. I would go nuts if I wasn't doing something constructive. I wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, bettering my community, my society, my family. I was just a burden on the state. How worthless, you know?
Yeah.
We lived on welfare growing up, and it was one of the most embarrassing and humiliating things, but I loved it because it was embarrassing and it was humiliating. You know, going to the checkout stand and ripping food coupons out, you know, and everybody knows you're on welfare. It was embarrassing. And but I loved it because I think that there is a use for guilt and shame. It means that, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to better myself. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be embarrassed every time I go shopping. You know, this is temporary. Yeah, this is temporary now. Okay, and it worked. But now we have it changed to where it's this EBT card, to where it just looks like you're just scanning a credit card. It looks like you're balling out of control. And then you're going home and you're sitting home all day with your 5 and your 6 and your 7 kids and no intention of working. So
Yeah.
I know, you know, a lot of people are going to get pissed, but listen, I grew up in that shit. I grew up poor. I grew up looking at all that, and I saw, and I volunteered too. I volunteered and I planted myself in the same community I grew up in. So I know what it's there. I know what is out there, but I know there's a lot of people that absolutely use the system, and those are the people that make it really hard for the rest of us, that care, that
Yeah.
you too, you grew up in a situation where you didn't have a lot of money growing up, and look at what you became.
That's true, man. It's just like, just growing up, my parents just instilled in me that, you work hard for what you want in life, period. And that just always, it always stuck with me. But coming in from my grandfather, even more, because he was the one that came over here and then told my dad, there's better opportunities out there,
Mhm.
because at the time, my mom and dad got married. And that's when, my dad just decided he wanted to give, his children, at the time my mom was pregnant with me, a better life.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, it's always like, it's always replaying, like, I need to do something to where it's going to be, for that happening, I have to fucking make it worth it here. You know what I'm saying? I just
Yeah.
can't fucking sit there and do nothing and make nothing of just my life from then till now. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just, I'm just a different breed, dude. I don't know. I'm just a different person overall, but I'm not thinking about just sitting there and like you're saying, collecting EBT and fucking just living off the state and all that. I just can't see it like that, bro. Honestly, because it's not for me. Like, I don't need that help. There could be other people that may do like that, legitimately need that help, sure.
Right. Right.
But for the people that take advantage of that shit, fuck all that, dude.
That
I'm
and
not with
that's
that shit.
and I want to be very clear with the people that are absolutely pissed with me right now is I'm not attacking the people that are on disability and that really are in need of help. We absolutely, but that's who we need these resources for. These people that are going out and they just find it easier to, they want to party, they want to, you know, live their drug life and do all the drugs they want and just collect that check because they don't have to work. And it happens. It's happened so much, and I wish our states would really crack down on that. And it comes down to a local level.
Yeah.
And and Seattle, it's not by accident that you see Seattle and Portland and San Francisco and LA as this wasteland of homelessness. It's not an accident. They invited this stuff. They created those resources, and people knew that they created the resources. So they said, here's your bus ticket. You're in Las Vegas now. We don't want you here. Here's your bus ticket to Seattle. Here's your bus ticket to Portland. Here's your bus ticket to LA and San Francisco. We want you out of here. We don't want you in our neighborhoods. And we're going to send you to Seattle, where they've all promised, the voters have all promised to take care. All of a sudden, the population of homelessness has just skyrocketed. In addition, with softening all these drug uses. Now they want safe injection sites. This is crazy. This is crazy. You and I are living in this stuff, and we are expected to be okay with that. We're expected to just feel sorry for people like that just want to remain strung out on drugs. We are the bad guys for being offended by it, for being pissed at our local politicians for being okay with this, for being pissed at the majority of voters that are voting for this stuff in. This is insane.
Yeah. Nah, man, just on that tip, bro, it's crazy to me to think that, you know, and we see it every other day, man. Like I see a few young cats out here asking for money and all this. And, my first assumption is, they're probably just looking for just an easy couple bucks to buy whatever it is that, they're probably doing or whatever. But
right.
In the past, I do feel that sympathy. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm a human being in the day. So I do feel that sympathy. Like maybe they have hit, they hit rock bottom. They're going through some tough times, whatever. But it's like when you see these young cats out here, that they can actually find the work, because there is work out there at fast food joints and shit. You can find a fucking job. There is no excuse at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's like, like you said, they probably they just want to have it the easy way out, and I'm not with that, bro. Like I just got to that point where I just started seeing more and more of it, to where if it's like a younger person or whatever, I just look the other way, bro. I don't even let it get to me anymore. Like if it's the older gentleman, like I have bought, like if I had food on me or something like that, or like
yes.
when I go to a grocery shopping, whatever, and I have some food on me, and I see an older gentleman, whatever, just, you can tell that obviously probably they're homeless, whatever. I'd be like, yo, man, here's something to drink, or here's something to eat.
Yeah.
I've done that before, man. And you can just tell. For me, I can just tell, yes. Right? But for these younger cats and shit, man, go get a fucking job, bro. It's not me being a dick. It's not me being a fucking asshole, but there is work out there if you want to go work. There's no fucking excuse. And it's annoying to me every time I see that shit, like homeless, blah, 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 blah. But it isn't like, and I've seen cats write something like will work for money, or will work, looking for a job. That's a different, that's a different, like, approach on it, which is good.
Yeah.
But these other cats looking for money, and you can tell, they have their flip phone on them. They're, they're using the phones. Like, nah, fuck that, bro.
My wife was telling me a story recently where she went through the drive-through, ordered some food, and she saw this elderly man nearby, and saying, hungry, please help.
Mm-hmm.
And she just pulled over and she said, hey, can I just give you my meal? And he was thinking, oh, just the burger. No, she gave everything that she had in her bag.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, what about you? What are you gonna eat? She goes, I'll find food. I'll do okay. So she gave him the food, and she said that he started crying just because he was so happy.
Oh, really?
That she helped him. Yeah. So that's awesome, and I love that and that's what I love about communities too, is where I loved so much with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Part of the reason I did Big Brothers Big Sisters was because when I was out of foster care, the state had said that I needed male role models in my life. They said that I didn't have any. I didn't. And so they said, well, this is a program. Well, every time they tried to pair me up with somebody, I must have been a handful. I must have just been too much to deal with. I don't know. But every single person said no. I got declined every single time.
Yeah.
And so I started to feel like, man, like my dad didn't want me, when I was born. My mom didn't want me because she put me in foster care.
Yeah.
And now these guys don't want me. I felt like, there were so many times growing up, I felt like nobody wanted me. And it was very hard. So when I was going to college one year in Kalispell, it was a community college, and in order to pay my tuition, there was a program. They said, hey, if you do this, volunteer at one of these local things, we'll pay your tuition. And so I saw Big Brothers on the map, and I took it. And so I went in, and this was right after I'd gotten my first assault charge, and so I had to explain why. Well, I was rough. I went through a lot of stuff. I was completely misguided. you
Yeah.
know, and a lot of everything I went through. I'm glad I went through everything I went through, because who I am today is because of all that, because of all those experiences. But I took that kid in and I kept him for 3 years. And I took him in when he was 15, and I stayed with him and I watched his graduation at high
It's awesome.
school, and it was amazing. It was one of the best highlights of my life. One of the best highlights was was not Halloween, Christmas. And we I was working at a big box retailer, and we did this adopt a family. Well, some people had seen me on TV because I did a news segment with this kid, with my little.
Okay.
And so somebody said, well, hey, can we adopt your kid, your family, you know? And so we were able to adopt 2 families that year with our store, because my family it was just him and his mom. So anyway, so we had a bunch of presents, and I had an F-150, and I loaded all the presents in the back of the truck. And I had this old video camera, you know, with the tapes. It was not
Yeah.
digital.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I put all the presents at his apartment complex right in front of his door, and knocked on his door and ran away. And then I hid behind the pickup truck, video recording everything. And he opened the door, and he saw the Christmas gifts, and just seeing how excited he was just like, they gave us gifts. They gave us gifts. He didn't know who it was. All he
Yeah.
knows, he opened the door and he saw all these gifts. And then I came out, whatever. And I don't know what happened to that videotape. I really wish I had that videotape, because that was one of the most warm feelings I ever got. So I do agree with helping the community. It's the drugs, it's the all of this stuff that these local communities that they're doing in Seattle and Portland, and they're supporting all these drugs, and they're not really rehabilitating these people at all, and they're
Yeah.
just making it worse. They're making it worse on us. So we're far off the mark here.
For sure, man. For sure. Just but going back to what you did and all that for since we're definitely in the Christmas season now. Just with being in December and all that. It's late as of lately, as it's been a couple years now. Uh, you know, it kind of in the same terms we're saying of being more giving. I think for me on my own, I'm just on my personal shit. Like uh, every year, my wife, it's crazy. So like my wife just asked me a couple days, like, what do you want for Christmas? And to be straight up, man, like this is just me being honest. Like me normal to water right now. Not trying to be funny or nothing, but like I was telling my wife, I'm good. Like
Mm-hmm.
like on some real shit. I got everything I need. I got my health. I was like telling my wife, I got you. I have my daughter. We're all good. I don't need anything. Like I really genuinely
Mm.
don't need anything.
Yeah,
And I'm like, even if you
because
don't,
you got what you want.
I'm like, even if you do give me something, it could be some new pair of socks, underwear, whatever. I'll be happy with that.
Mm.
And because man, I'm in the position where if I do want something, I can get it myself. And that's just not me being like, oh, I'm balling this or that. It's not even close to that. I'm just blessed, dude. And
Mm.
just putting it down, like I'm just blessed. And I really this, and we talked about this, and I think this is a good time to bring it up. And I'm gonna look at the camera when I say this, because this is being sincere. Okay. On my own half, I want to give away 4 $20 Amazon gift cards. And how I want to do it, we want to select people, and you can enter your names, and we'll figure out a crafty way to do this. And it's going to be where this is just for me, coming from me to you, doing just something sincere, just because I want to. Just that's it. It has nothing to do with the podcast, has nothing to do with getting more followers, none of that bullshit. I'm gonna keep it simple. I want to do this because I know we're all going through a tough time right now, everybody is, and I want to do that. So
Mhm.
we will post up some details on that, and we're gonna make it happen. Just because I want to at least make someone's day on on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, however you celebrate it, um, special. And that's just that. So we will do that. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna make this a clip, and we're gonna post that on our Instagram. So be on the lookout for that. because Eduardo's gonna be Santa Claus for a few people. Yeah, man.
And I am going to be the Grinch.
He's gonna be the one that takes it and doesn't tell anybody. I lost the gift cards.
Yeah, I don't know where they went.
Yo, Eddie, check this out. I got this new mic I got.
Yeah, nice and polished, bro. But yo, I think what you did, I think that was a good idea. We should do that next year, though, bro. Yeah, dude, check it out.
That would be some shit, man. Yeah, nah, man. But yeah, overall, more just going off on that, man. It's definitely, man. Definitely, it's I thought that was cool that you did that though for that kid, man. And I feel like that definitely, obviously you made a positive, they went up down a positive route, I guess you could say, right? So
yeah,
that's good for you, bro. That's
yeah,
good.
I think that what you're talking about with the gift cards, that's really cool. I think that this season is sort of that time, and especially this year has been really trying on a lot of families, and emotionally, financially. It's been a rough year. And I love that you reach out. So yeah, whatever you do, I'm definitely going to jump in and help you. I know we haven't you've been talking about it. I've been sort of focusing on my family stuff, just because I get to have my daughter over here for Christmas, and I haven't got to see her since spring break. No, since summer. And so when she's here, it's just like everything else around me is just it's all blocked off, right?
Sure.
My schedule's blacked out, and it's just her and I. And so we're super excited. We're thinking about all the things we're going to be doing. And so I haven't, but anyway, I think what you're doing is awesome. And I definitely want to match everything you're doing. So
cool.
Count that in.
Definitely. Like I said, we'll definitely put some details.
How are we going to do this? Yeah. I guess
we'll figure it out. Well, we'll definitely have to talk off air and kind of just figure out a way to do it. Because like I said, this is something that just like I said, on a personal level, I've been doing more giving than anything, like on Christmas or just during the holidays, just because like like I said, bro, it's just like as simple as it is, man. I'm good. I really have everything I need, man, for real. Like, and I'm blessed, bro. That's all I'm just gonna say. I'm blessed, man. So,
yeah, man.
But on another note, I know the time has come, and this is what we're gonna title this bitch. And now here we are. And what I mean by that,
and
this new vaccine, and so it begins. This new vaccine. I know we're gonna put our conspiracy hats on, so our tinfoils. We're gonna have to make some tinfoil hats, man, so we can put on every segment. Tinfoil hat time. Boop.
Bingo. I like that.
They're gonna roll out this new vaccine, but this isn't just like your ordinary vaccine, Brett. And I think I want to let the people know. They probably know by now, maybe if you've dabbled with the interwebs and found this yourself. But they're gonna give you a little card that's gonna be a reminder for your next dose. Now, when I first read this, I'm like, wait, so you need more than one fucking dose of this, sped up vaccine that they made? And then
you need two.
What is this card for? And okay, to make things a little bit more on a conspiracy level, Oregon and Washington State are an at-will state. And you know what that means. But I'm explaining to you what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so what that means is that certain employers will actually they're gonna let people know, you want to work here, you're gonna have to get that vaccine. And that's where it begins. Are you gonna take it or are you not? But I can kind of see some ways where people are gonna, there is you have a constitutional right if it abides your religion or your beliefs or however you want to word it. You can't be forced to do so. I think, don't call me on that. Like I said, I'm always wrong. But there's ways you can get out of it from what I know. But the fact of the matter that they're doing this in that way to where, like, man, they're going to make everybody get that shit, or just give you that card where you're going to need your next dosage, and you're going to have to put your information on that. And who's going to keep record of this? I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, Brett. What do you
No,
think, man?
I mean, Department of Defense, Operation Warp Speed. you know, they think this thing that has a 99% survival rate, that we need to have this card, and it's going, I think, beyond businesses, right? The businesses that will, if you want to travel internationally,
Yeah, you're gonna have to get it.
you cannot board this airplane. I don't care
Mhm.
what your religion is, if you don't have this thing, this vaccination. I think this generation, we have seen, if you are our age, right, born in the early 80s to the 90s, you've seen 9/11. You've seen the Patriot Act, and the Patriot Act that stripped us of all of our freedoms. The Patriot Act basically allows the government to tap into your phone and listen to you at all times. We also have Amazon, Google, Facebook. They are listening to us at all times. They're tracking and monitoring everything that we're doing and controlling what we say. And now all of a sudden we have this pandemic. And what would a pandemic be in the 21st century without being tracked or having your freedoms stripped from you? If it's not, you know what I mean? So yeah. So, I've asked people if, would you get the vaccine? I've asked probably about 10 people. Some people said that they would. Some people said, yeah, this thing, it helps. But it's so different. It's so different from everything else. Why do you need to show this card? I mean, if everybody's getting this thing, aren't we to assume the same thing with all of us wearing masks? We're Aren't we healthy? Aren't we
Yeah.
healthy? So if you get the vaccination and you get the both of the doses, if you're one of the ones that choose not to and you get sick, what harm is it if other people are doing it? And
Yeah.
again, so I don't know. I don't listen, this forced stuff. I get it when you have like the measles and the mumps. I remember you and I, are both in the generation where we had chicken pox,
Mhm.
right? And so now they have a vaccination for chicken pox. I'm all good for that. I'm okay with that. When they talk about studies that have debunked the claim that these vaccinations were causing Down syndrome or autism in babies, they've been debunked. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm not anti-vaccination. What I am though is, why are all of a sudden you shoving this down our throat and then making us get this tracking card? We've never seen anything like this before. Why all of a sudden is it like this when we've seen a number of people die with the flu every year? We've seen all this stuff. So why is it? I mean, you call it a pandemic because everybody got sick, but what are other countries doing this? Are other countries forcing their citizens to get tracked and vaccinated? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know what's in those vaccinations. Show me the ingredients. Show me what's in those. And you talk about your trials. If I get sick, if I get vaccinated and I get sick, I can't sue Moderna. I can't sue Pfizer. That's on me. If I die, I die. It's nobody's fault but mine for getting the shot.
Like Ivan Drago said when he killed Apollo Creed in Rocky, if he dies, he dies. That's
Oh,
straight up.
yeah.
That's
Well,
yeah, it's pretty
I
crazy
will
shit, man.
I will say for the people that are, there are people that are feeling like there is a bigger thing at play here. And there's a certain segment of our population that feels like this might be the mark of the beast. So the vaccination itself does not appear to be the mark of the beast, because with the mark of the beast, it has to come from someone who demands that you worship them. So So it's not fitting the mold on that. It could be a precursor. We don't know. But for the people that are worried on the religious end of it, all of my studies show that this vaccination does not appear to be any type of mark of the beast. But I still want to know what ingredients are in there, because
For
I think
sure.
that there's some crazy, I don't know. I've just seen some crazy things. But you know, if I start spouting off even more, we're for sure gonna get this episode pulled from the lineup.
And we don't want to be canceled too soon, man, because we got a long way to go. We
Yeah.
definitely, we want to continue growing this motherfucker. So we're not going to do that yet. So
Yeah,
we're gonna,
we gotta play our
vaccine wise
cards
on the
right.
ingredients, we don't know what it is. But me on a personal note, I'm not gonna take it just yet. I'm gonna wait off for until people get it, and then from there, if the coast is clear, it's cool. Fuck it.
Even
why
if they
not?
tell you at work that you have to wear a mask all the time,
Ugh.
you're okay with wearing a mask all the time?
Yeah, fuck it.
Are you okay with being made fun of? Because that's what they're gonna do. That's the tactic. Is they always love to make fun of you or make you afraid.
If it, like I said, if it doesn't affect me on a personal level outside of work, and I go to sleep at night perfectly fine, I give two shits, bro. Really, I really don't think about it that serious. So they can make fun of me, whatever, So it is what it is, man.
My man.
That's just how I look at it, dude. It's all just a laughing game for me. It's like, okay, cool.
I love
Hope you
it.
got your
Yeah.
laugh. It's awesome. But isn't that crazy now that the three past previous presidents, Bush, Obama, and don't tell me the other one, Clinton, they're gonna get they said fuck it, we'll get the vaccine live on TV. No, Biden too, right?
Yeah, so that's what they say. So in the trenches of the right-wing media, I've seen things and I've heard rumors
It's not
where
real. It's a
no,
placebo.
yeah, they're gonna get placebo. So we're all gonna get this real dose where it's supposed to like control, like there's stuff that controls your DNA and your mind, so they have mind control over us.
Oh
And
shit.
so basically, yeah, whatever they want us to vote for, all of a sudden, this vaccine is going to make us vote for that. We will lose all willpower.
Fuck,
and
man.
and
That'd
then
be
so
wild.
yeah, so the lizard man or the lizard team, the lizard people, they're all
Mhm.
going to get placebos.
Fuck, dude. It'd be cool if it gave me superpowers. So I'll be all for that. Like if I could fly or control metal like Magneto, dude, I'd be all in for it. Fuck it. You fucking hit me right there in the fucking neck with one. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Or like Spider-Man. Dude,
I want to
fuck
be
yeah, do that.
Thanos.
Oh, dude. Snap.
If they
Yeah.
die, they die.
Nah, man, I think that was crazy. That is crazy that they're saying that they're willing to do this shit on live TV just to ease the worry about the vaccine and all that. I think it's wild, but it is nuts though. I don't think we've ever heard in history or just in the past about a medical card telling you, reminding you that you need your next dosage on whatever date it is. It's just it's weird to me. It's like, what
Yeah, the
fuck?
only thing I've ever seen is like your daughter, when she goes to school, she's gonna have an immunization card.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna give you a card. I don't know what they do in Washington, but I know in Montana they give you a card.
I think
So
they do that here too.
you have
I
to
think they
give
do
that
here.
card to the school to say,
Yeah.
hey, boom, boom, boom.
Fuck.
All I want to do was a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Shake, you're wrong.
Yeah, man. Nah, man, it's wild. It's wild. I mean, dude, we're at the home stretch. We're in December. It's almost Christmas. But above all that, people, for whatever you want to take it in on this podcast, we're just expressing how we feel about certain things. And we're here to talk and have a conversation. Take it whatever way you want to take it. Like I said, I'm wrong most of the time. My opinions. Do what you may with them. Whatever.
I like trolls,
me,
though.
like me, dislike me, fuck me, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
so
I like
Cool.
trolls. So if you guys want to fight online, bring the fight. I'm always like, I can do gloves off, gloves on, doesn't matter.
Gloves on, gloves
I
off.
love a good fight on the internet, and just because you aren't real to me when the trolls come out, like I just look at it as a mind exercise.
It's kind of like a Fortnite, you know.
what
like
am I
someone
gonna
starts-
do here?
It's kind of like when someone starts talking shit like on Fortnite.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, I'm gonna beam you from fucking 256 meters, and
Right.
we'll see what that does. You know
Yeah. What are you
I'm
gonna do? Swat me?
saying?
Famous
SWAT.
last words.
Fucking SWAT team comes in right there, just fucking puts against the wall and slaps him.
And I'm always trapped.
I'm there.
Famous last
Uh,
words. Great way to end it.
But yeah, okay, so we'll end this episode on that note. As always, go check us out on Instagram at the Tiptix Podcast. Go check out episode 44 with Guad and Bree. It's an awesome episode. Check that out. It's on YouTube, and I think it's already uploaded by then. But when this episode releases, it should be already uploaded on all major streaming platforms. So like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Music Play, all that good stuff. We're there, baby. So till then, this is the Tiptix Podcast. This is Eduardo and my awesome co-host Brett. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.